Good evening, friends, on this Tuesday evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a minute since we were together, but here we are again on this Tuesday. Today, talking about the young adult movement, a topic that everybody has been talking about. A topic of very keen interest for many people. And as you know, Tina, we make things happen. We make the pots to do what the pots were supposed to be doing, to be done. So call everybody, call anyone who is an adult by virtue of the law, meaning that anyone who's 18 years and above, call them so that they can come and listen to the conversation. And everybody who really is interested in knowing what YAM is about, which is the Young Adult Movement. So friends, before we start our conversation, as it is the norm, please let us bow our heads and invoke the Spirit of God in prayer. Modimo tate modimo morwa modimo moya o mokgethwa wena mmopile mmabale jwa maphelo a rena re tla go wena terenong ya gago ya kgaogelo re tle go leboga gore we are able to meet once again on this Tuesday evening. Re tle go leboga gore because wena o modimo, you have allowed us yet another opportunity to live a life of purpose and to try again and live for and within our purpose. Heavenly Father, as we enter into this conversation this evening, we pray and we ask that you become the driver of this whole conversation, that you become the foundation and the anchor of this conversation. I bring your sons and your daughter to the foot of your throne as they come and educate us about the young adult movement, a movement within the Methodist Church of Southern Africa, which is really a movement that we hope to be a part of, that many people would just love to have some more knowledge about in order for them to make a decision whether they become a part of it or not. But also, most importantly, a movement that is of keen interest to almost every Methodist person. Heavenly Father, re tla go wena re go bitsa gore e be wena o leng mothegi wa I be asking this in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
So friends,
Amen.
welcome once again to Wesley Guild SA, and we have been waiting. We have been. So you took your time, but we are just grateful that you are here. You please introduce yourselves. Let me start with brother Sianda Makhubo.
I am okay, thanks. I hope everyone is well. Nasekhaya, wherever you are, might be joining us. My name is Osianda Makhubo, and I am a fully devoted Methodist, born-again Christian. I am from the Edenvale and Kenton Park Circuit, that's in the Highveld and Eswatini district. And within the church, I am a member of the Young Men's Guild, the Wesley Guild, and most importantly, the Young Adult Movement, to which I'm very proud to be a member of. And that's briefly me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Wesley Guild SA, and we really are looking forward to having this conversation with you. Next in line is my brother, Takalani Ramabulana. Ramsanda.
And Madekwani Bukalatsi.
Varmini.
Nendo Nubusangeyo.
Nanendo Buakakatia una.
This Wabuti.
Please introduce yourself.
No, thank you very much. No, thank you very much, colleagues. My name is Takalani Ramabulana. I'm from the Northern Free State and Lesotho district. The circuit is circuit 612, Paris, in the Northern Free State. I'm a full member of the Methodist Church of Southern Africa. I have some wonderful experience in this church. I grew up in this church. I became part of any organization that you can think of in the church in the early age, from the Mill Guild, Sunday School, until the Wesley Guild, I happen also to be one of those who revived the METSOC in the early 90s. I became a member of Wesley Guild for many years, my sister. You won't believe that this year, when I was giving away my jacket of the Wesley Guild, this was my 30th year as a member of Wesley Guild. So meaning that Wesley Guild, me and Wesley Guild is goodbye. I can't be continuing after this year. I became a member of the young adult movement, the movement that has been there for some time. So I'm here today to engage with the fellow Methodists about this young adult movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As you're talking, I'm trying to figure out how long I have been a member of the Wesley Guild myself. But I'm close to you. I'm somewhere there. I just don't want to give up away my my age, because everybody on this platform thinks 2000, or you know. So yeah, I just want to keep it. I just want to keep it there. And finally, we have my sister, Lehobye. Sama, how are you?
Sama, I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Like I said to the two brothers, we've been waiting for you guys. We are so glad that you are here. Please introduce yourself and tell Guilders and everybody who's joining us who you are.
Lovely. So I am Lehobye. Thank you so much. I am a convener, YEM convener for the Young Adult Movement in Limpopo District. Like TK and everybody else on the call, I'm also a very full member of the Methodist Church. I like TK, I was just a Wesley Guild member for 10 years, 1996 until 2006. After that, I then took a different route with God, but still in the Methodist Church. You know, so yeah, so I've been a member of YEM now, informally, before we even were official, probably from about 2015, 2016, and our district was then formal and I could say launched in a sense from 2018. Yeah, so I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy and very excited that we are really going to share with the members of the church and the public in general what the Young Adult Movement is about and what makes us so happy, you know, because I call it a happy space. It's because you're quite happy people. Yeah.
I'm so glad, and I really believe that everybody cannot wait. So let us really just jump into it. There's only one ground rule. Anyone can just answer whichever question that comes. You know, I won't, unless I specifically ask a specific person, but other than that, please, you know that this is a conversation between and among friends, and that's just, so what is YEM? In simple terms, explain to somebody what is YEM.
Okay, so I think ladies first, I will do that. YEM, for all of us, it is a movement. I think when you're praying, you say it is a movement in the Methodist Church. It is a fully recognized movement in the church. This is really a group of young people in the church who are saying, I want to work for God. I've been gifted by God, and I want to give back to God and to the community without necessarily belonging to a traditional manyano in the church. Right? And that's why we always say with YEM, we don't have uniform, we don't have subscription, you know, we almost breaking all the rules that are the norm in the church. And the reason for that is because we are saying we need to make church relevant. We need to make church exciting. We need to make church fashionable for every person. Because if you think about it, how many young people are confirmed and how many young people come back to the church post-confirmation? And that is because we always ask the question, is the church relevant? What is it that is making them to leave the church? And what is it that we as YEM can do to keep the people in the church? So I always say, for me, YEM is two things. One, it's church relevance. Number two is mission-centered. And mission-centered, we talk about issues that nobody wants to touch. We talk about issues that are seen as taboo, but we are saying, if you can't talk about these issues in the church, where should we talk to them about? Yeah, so that's basically in a nutshell, that is what YEM is about. I don't know if my team would like to add, but in summary, shortly.
Yeah, any of the gentle brothers can add if they would.
Yeah. Let me jump in, and I think what's also very important is that to define what a young adult is, right? My two siblings are talking about the fact that they've been in the Wesley Guild many moons ago. In 2006, I was 12 years old. So I'm not even 30 years of age. But that's what young adult movement is trying to do. It's trying to bridge the gap from people who would have not otherwise found a placing or footing in the traditional sense of the Wesley Guild to someone who is, right in the prime age of being young within the church, but is also not finding footing within other organizations in the church. And that's what the young adult movement is saying. It is saying Sianda is a Black male, single, childless Methodist who's probably going through similar issues to what Kgolagano is going through, right? What about being a single parent? What about debt? What about you being unable to find employment because of the degree you hold? What about of the fact that you want to participate in the church, you have a specific talent in the church? What platform do you have in the church apart from being a part of another organization? And for me, that is what the YAM has tried to do for me. So coming back, my short story in just a few minutes, coming back from varsity, having been accustomed in the youth unit within the Meth SOC, I come back and I'm being offered the Wesley Guild. I could not find myself in the Wesley Guild. I know church to be something else. I know how to be flexible within a space. And therefore, the young adult movement became a home for me to be flexible. I now can use my talents and my experiences and contribute back to the church. I can liaise and be in a space with people who are slightly older than me, but are relatable to me. And I think that's very important. And the young adult movement is then able to give me that platform. So within the space, Axi Youth Endala, it is not people who could not find spacing or footing in other formations, but it is very important that we look at it from the point of view to say that there's this missing middle to which you find the likes of Osianda, who are in their 20s, but who might also need grooming, and senior people who then groom them into what life throws at them. And I think that's a very important space that the church is offering, and YAM is exactly that.
Sure. Well said. Thank you so much, Butsianda. You know, the question that arises every single time a person speaks about YAM is YAM replacing the Wesley Guild? Is YAM competing with the Wesley Guild? And if not, how is YAM different from the Wesley Guild?
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Sly. Look, firstly, people, they need to understand one thing about YAM. Young adult movement, it has been there for so many years. Since the year 2002, YAM, it has been there. So what I'm trying to say is that YAM is not replacing the Wesley Guild, and it's not intending to replace Wesley Guild. Wesley Guild is Wesley Guild. It has its own way of operation. They've got their own way of doing their own business. But it's just a matter that we are within the youth unit. Hence, people, others, they will think that young adult movement is a replacement of Wesley Guild. Or rather say, YAM, it's a senior Wesley Guild. No. We are not senior Wesley Guild. We are an independent movement that has its own programs that might differ with the Wesley Guild. Our programs are mainly of developmental. Our program is about bring about change in the church by sharing our experience from different fields of study, from our experience in our work environment. And then we are saying that with all that we have gathered outside this traditional movement, we need to bring change in the church by giving back our talent. So in short, my sister, we are not replacing Wesley Guild. It must be noted. It's a young adult movement. Yes, they might see faces from the Wesley Guild, people who have been active in the Wesley Guild. But with time, with age, people will tend to want to move from traditional organization based to their experience. Argument's sake, others, they might feel to say, why am I not joining Young Men's Guild? But because the program of Young Adults Movement is not the same with Amadoda and Asewisi, with Young Women's Manyano, but it's basically for transformational. It's basically to engage on things that many of us are scared to engage. I will tell you about a young adult movement. We are having anything that you can think of in this church. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have advocates, we have teachers, we have accountants, we have auditors. Now we are saying that with the skill that we are possessing, we cannot just be there being following the normal ways of doing business without helping our own church. Hence, we are saying young adult movement. It's here as a different animal altogether that is intending to bring about change. So in short, once more, we are saying we are not here to replace Wesley Guild. We are not a senior Wesley Guild, but we're independent young adult movement as part of the chapter 3 of the Youth Unit Constitution under the entities. You'll see YAM is part of that. But before, it was written as youth groups. But fortunately now, it's been now concluded by the conference. Now it's very clear for all of us to understand.
Just in addition to what TK is saying, I think what is also important is for people to know that not every young adult movement member is an ex-Wesley Guilder, right? We actually have a lot of people that have never been Wesley Guilders, but have found a home in YAM. And similarly, we have some that have not been Wesley Guilders, came to YAM and still didn't feel it, you know? So it's not everybody that is a Wesley Guilder or an ex-Wesley Guilder that is a YAM member. That is number one. Number two is that in your more established districts, you actually have in the MCYU working very closely together, that is YAM and Wesley Guild in terms of programs. So they're at a point where they have now really identified their footing and understanding the difference between the two and saying, how then do we bridge the gap and work together as Wesley Guild and the young adult movement. So they are now complementing each other. And that is what we are advocating towards, that is what we are always encouraging. You know, so just in addition to what TK was saying.
I think that's very important for people to know, you know, so that people don't think that it is a place where when you're tired of the Wesley Guild, then you go to YAM. You know, you might not have even belonged to any organization for that matter. And I think maybe this is where my next question is coming from. Who can become a member of YAM? What qualifies a person, what qualifies a person to be a member of YAM?
Any person that belongs to the Methodist Church of Southern Africa can become a YAM member, all right? Any person that identifies with the values and principles of YAM can become a member. But interestingly enough, we have got some people that were not Methodist Church members, but they came to YAM through friends or partners and are now full members of the church. They are now LPA members. They are now, some of them are even Wesley Guild, YMG. So anybody that really identifies with the drive of YAM and the identity of YAM is more than welcome. But what is important is that people need to be full members of the church.
I think the church, it's important for the church to hear that through YAM, the church has gained more members, you know, because people are attracted by different things. And it's important when people are attracted by things of God, not just Tamiga and stuff. So that is very, very important. So my question is, somebody alluded to it, but does YAM have uniform? And if it does, how does it look like? La para di bow tie.
Oh, please no.
How? What's going on?
And I think that's key to it. And if you go to the history, I mean, Methodism was born out of non-structuralism, right? We were running away from what the Anglican Church was trying to structure, the spirituality and all of that. And a key to our traditions of trying to belong, uniform came through the Black societies. And YEM is saying no to that, right? We are saying no to uniforms, no to trying to align with things that we, according to YEM, and this is very important, things that we, according to YEM, don't matter. So uniform does not matter to us. Structure of opening, there's no mañano, right? For instance, my YEM in my circuit meets at a Mag and Bean. We're from work, we're professionals. I'm going to the gym right now. We're young professionals, we're meeting. We have a common purpose. We're young Christians, and we're going to talk about good, critical things that matter to us as young adults. And we go our separate ways. And but true to human nature, we do have shirts that bear the emblem of YEM. And that's purely a fundraising initiative. That's purely a team building initiative where we are together. For instance, where we go out to a couples retreat, we have couples in YEM, where we go out to a couples retreat in Zambezi, for instance. How about we rock our shirts and we look alike and we have good pictures, for instance, right? Or when we go to Fountains Valley in Pretoria, as a circuit of YEM, how about we all look the same, wearing the same shirt branding? It's purely just branding and marketing, and professionals in that space will tell you that's a good thing to attract a person from outside. But oh, please no, we don't have shirts and ties and ribbons and all those things that according to us don't matter. Yeah, those things are backward, according to us as YEM, at least for otherwise.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you YEM follows the words of Jesus Christ when he said, "Come just as you are."
Come as you
Amen.
are. Listen, you need to be comfortable in the church. What is important is for us to work for God, and anything else does not matter. What matters is the purpose that we are here for.
Yeah, guys, can I become a YEM member if I'm married?
Yes.
And this is the reason. This is the reason why I'm asking this. So I was a guilder for many years. When YEM was formed, I was already living in Cape Town, and I've been in Cape Town for 20 years. So it also gives you a bit of my age. So I stopped being a guilder when I got married, because I felt like I can't be a wife in my house. And this is my principle. It's nobody else's principle. I can't be at home being a wife and making huge decisions and portraying a certain decorum. And then I just felt like, no, it was a mismatch. And that is the reason why I left the Wesley Guild, not because it didn't serve a purpose for me as a wife. So my question to you is, can I or anybody be a member of YEM if they're married?
You can be a member of YEM if you are married, if you are divorced, if you are single, if you are anything and everything. You can be a member of YEM. And I think, Sianda mentioned something very important. We've got couples in YEM, and we have got people that are single, but have been struggling in relationships. So these are the conversations that when we as YEMers get together, we talk about such things. We talk about difficulties in marriage. We talk about cheating husbands, cheating wives. We talk about sex. We talk about literally anything and everything. If you come to the Limpopo district retreat this year, we are going to be talking about teen parenting, because that's what we are dealing with at this particular moment. So whether you're married, you're single, you're divorced, you are in between, you are one of our own. Come as you are.
Hi guys, kids. Guys, now here is a contentious issue, in the Methodist Church of Southern Africa. And no matter how much we would like to throw it under the rug and not deal with it, the Methodist Church of Southern Africa can be tribalistic at the best of times. So how will Yam be different in its social holiness? The one thing I liked earlier on was, I think it was Vamsanda, when he said, it was you, Kola, when you said you are breaking the barriers within the church, making the church relevant and fashionable. So how does Yam plan to do away with tribalism as far as Yam is concerned, or as far as the church is concerned?
No, thank you very much, my sister and colleagues. Look, we need to remind our people. Yes, we know sometimes we are saying things and we document them without practicing them. I'll make an example. This church believes or subscribes to the ideology of one and undivided church. That suggests to say that when I look at you, I don't see you as a woman who's been married in the colored section, who's from Pretoria. You see, immediately when I see you, I see a person who's a member of the church. So our intention as Yam is not about looking to say we have that one and that one is a closer. Look, I'm vendor. Whoever noticed that I'm vendor? It's only you who are closer to me who said that one is a vendor. But none of members knew that I'm a vendor. It's because the way I'm dealing with issues, I'm not bringing my vendor a way of doing things from Toyando, from Sanda, and I'm bringing them in the church. No, we are here in this year. Bring our diversity, bring our own talents, bring our own skills. So there'll be no time for us as young people to think of you being a Tswana woman, that one being a Xhosa, that one being a Zulu. That for us is not important. What is important is about what God gave you. Or rather say in a township language, what mama gives you. Show us what mama gives you. It's what we subscribe on. It's what we want to see. It's what we want to make sure that by virtue of bringing what you have will make this church a better church. But immediately, if we want to focus to say, no, I'm vendor. Therefore, why are we not having the vendor hymns in the church? Therefore, I'm feeling inferior. That is the problem. The Yam must be able to say, look, the Methodist Church is in the Limpopo area. And then we are having the vendor people, we're having the Tsonga people. What's happening there? Whom are we having that side that can be able to capacitate our church in making sure that every member of the Methodist Church understand that we have this kind of people. And by virtue of doing that, we are welcoming individuals. But at the end of the day, we are not going to practice what the vendor people are practicing at home. So the issue of tribalism, yes, it has been a struggle in our church for so many years. We have been singing the issue that we are one and undivided, preaching the issues of Christ heal Africa for the healing of the nation. We are saying that on paper, but we are here as Yam. We need to break those barriers. We need to penetrate all the spaces that many of us were not allowed to do. We need to say things that the church will feel uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, our intention is to purify what people they see in the church. We need to purify. We need to make sure that our church is rising beyond being a vendor, beyond being a Tswana, being a Xhosa, being a Pedi, a Tswana, a vendor, or whoever that you can think of. So I'm saying that everyone is welcome. There is a song that we normally sing. Abantsundu na bamhlophe mabadibene kunye. What. We need to make that song relevant. You cannot just only sing all those things and then ends there after singing and feeling the Holy Spirit. That's what Reverend Dandala once said, that other people, they are so holy on Sunday, but come Monday, they're back to normal. Do you understand? It's because of us wanting to be whoever that we want to be in the church. But after that, we are treating each other in a bad way. So, yeah, it's here to make sure that those things are not important to us. What is important is what God blessed us with. It's what Hola is having. It's what Hola will be able to help the church in all sectors of the church. So I so submit, Madam.
Thank you so much. Hola, did you want to add something? Oh, okay. So I take it that he doesn't. So thank you so much.
I think for transformation. Oh.
Yeah, I think you're back. You're back.
My back. Okay, sorry. Sorry, my connectivity. So I just wanted to add to say, we advocate for transformation, right? So it's not even just about the tribalism as well, but also the patriarchy that we find in the church. That a female is seen to be less than a man. Yem is breaking that completely. We are breaking new ground when it comes to that. You know, you can look at our executives, look at the number of female leaders in our executives. It is shocking to the core. When we say we need something, the females put their hand up, they literally show themselves and they run with it. And because we are not boxed, we are not told to do things in a certain way. We are doing things in the way that we see best. You know, I mean, for an example, in my district specifically, the term that is ending now, the executive is 3 females and 1 male. The executive that will be inducted in November, it's all female, voted for by men, endorsed by men, you know. So we are really moving towards transformation in a true sense of saying, not just lip service, but the doing part of it.
Yeah, so you guys are going back to being Africans, because in Africa, we are a matriarchal people. You know, we affirm women. And I'm not saying that men are not powerful or they're not affirmed, but patriarchy has taken away our Africanness, Ubuntu, Betu, for so long. It's so refreshing to hear what you guys are saying. And what I'm also hearing is that Yem is all about your gifts and your skills. It doesn't matter how you look, how big, how small you are, how light, how dark you are. Basically, there are no Jews, no Gentiles, and there are no males, no females, as the Bible alludes. Hey, Kimureri, man, yes.
Well done. You understand us, Lena. You understand.
So at the moment, how many circuits and districts have an affiliated YAM within the connection?
Okay, at this moment, we have got, so YAM was started in 2002 in the Central District. I think people need to know that, right? Right now, the formal district that have officially launched and are officially operational 100%, we've got 5. We've got Limpopo, Molopo, Hiswa, NFSL, and Mokalamontle. The good thing, I'm smiling about it, is that you've got Kungani Hinta that is now active. They have started. It's been a few months now where they're having their meetings. Cape of Good Hope has now shown interest. William Kama is also has shown a lot of interest. So in totality, we actually have, I mean, from 2018, we had 1 district to now where we are sitting on about 8 districts. And we really welcome any other district that wants to launch. Our job really is also to support them with the process of giving knowledge and assisting them in getting accepted by the districts, by the church, by the circuits, by the ministers, because that is also another challenge that we currently have.
Yeah. So how does while we on the topic, how does a district or a circuit start or affiliate a YAM?
No.
Easy.
Look. Sianda, are you coming in?
No. Go for it, Abuti.
Okay. Look, what we subscribe to, and my sister, is that one. Let it be clear. We don't have the on-trials. No one is becoming an on-trial member as long that you are a full member of the Methodist Church. We are automated. You are a member immediately. But now, how do we bring the YAM into circuits? What we believe in, we believe that whether you are 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever number that you are having, as long that you have the interest, we'll have people who will come and help you in establishing the young adult movement and giving you a right way of doing it, and also to explore all the means as how are you going to approach it. So there is no formal way of how the circuit is supposed to be. As much as I'll tell you about it, even in my circuit, whereby we are not that many for us to be recognized, but because we are there, we are young adults movement. I agree with Ramabulana we say, Baba Beji, Baba Raru, we are putting so we are practicing that. It does not matter about the number. Number to us is not important. What is important is about the transformational agenda. That is, it's our focus and a center. So I think it's how we are dealing with this matter.
I mean, TK, you really said it before. You know, there is no guideline. We have circuits that have one person and they are working and they are seeing. We can see their job, we see what they're work, we see what they're doing in church and in the community. Some seconds before.
Connection is not great.
It's about what it is that. Can you hear me now?
I can. It's what I listen. Okay, I think let us move to the next one, and then she will just catch up with us.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure.
You can just catch up with us as we progress. For now, allow me to just take the 2 points that are on the chat group here on Zoom. And Abuti Tato says, at this key, the article to my cancer. For the longest time, I have been asking myself that now that I'm a retired Wesley Guilder, where can I go? I am glad that there is a platform I can join. Kikupa membership form. I will navigate myself from these bundus.
We love that. We love that.
And he also says, also from Mukalamunte, where is the nearest circuit I can access YAM? By the way, I am only closer to Uppington. So where is the closest YAM around Mukalamunte district?
Yeah.
I think we'd have to find out, yeah.
In Mukalamunte, soon they'll be launching in the district, I think some around here now in October, they'll be launching here in Bloemfontein in 1 second, they'll be launching. So if my brother is interested, he can talk to around Kimberley. He can talk to Sister Palisa Haas, who's also involved, also Sister Ntauleng in Bloemfontein. If he can talk to them, you'll be able to get information about that. So, but one thing for sure that I know is that Bloemfontein, they're launching, Mukalamunte, they're launching here in 1 second. So it'd be good if the brother can join them to get more information about YAM. And immediately when he has information, we can start engaging. Give him the guideline, give him what is necessary. He himself, with the information that we give him, he can organize young adults that area.
Yeah.
People who are having the interest in this animal that called YAM. And we don't mind. We'll drive to Uppington, we'll drive to Kimberley to come and sit with them and give them the inside information about what is YAM, how they can go about them, because sometimes a situation differs area to area. So my brother, you are welcome. Don't worry, YAM, it's for everyone. Don't get tired. Don't bring your tiredness from Wesley Guild. Be energetic and all the skills that you possessed. I know this man from early age at Metsoc. I know how gifted he is. So I think that we are going to use these skills in this church. So you can contact those people that I've just mentioned. And if doesn't get hold of them, we are here to help them in order to know what is all about young adult movement. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Facebook quickly. Dini says, and again, YAM is not for professionals only. We do have entrepreneurs and unemployed members, and we do try to complement one another. Thank you, Ausdini. Belelihle Nita says, Methodist people are always crazy in gay uniform. Please, we are tired of being bullied in gay uniform. Oh,
Amen.
Tabi Masike says, now that's transformation. something that we can talk about with pride for many years to come. Mpho Twin Chabalala says, YEM was started in the Central District. Can we properly reference? But that's what was said. It was actually said that
people of Central
in 2002 in the Central District. So yes, it was referenced. Lekabani Maine says, thank you very much for this session. I just want to check with you if YEM, which is currently under MCYU, will be under the unit forever, or is there any chance that maybe after some time YEM will no longer be under the MCYU? Thank you. So that is the question now.
Yeah, I would like to step into this question as a very exciting question for me. And yes, so there have been conversations and talks around this, and I think YEM currently finds its best placing within the MCYU, the unit, and obviously it's a conversation that can't start now and stop at a certain time. It's a continuous conversation, and but I think in the future it is a frank conversation that we need to have with ourselves internally, whether it is beneficial for us at that time to still belong to the youth unit. But we have no qualms or no bad taste with our entities or sister entities within the MCYU. It would purely just be a strategic placing for us, whether we still belong within the MCYU at that particular time. And I mean, the fact that the question comes along within our members itself, I think then it's something that we need to talk about at a later stage. But currently we are finding it beneficial to be within the unit. We are finding that we actually more disposable and help with other entities within the unit than would have been outside. So yeah, it's definitely a conversation to be had at a later stage.
Yeah, thank you. I think evolution, or opening any movement organization up for evolution, is a great thing to be. Then that way you don't cement yourself in a place and then later on you realize you no longer belong to that place. You are finding it difficult to move or evolve or transform into a different space. So I really, really appreciate that fact, Butsianda. Guys, we watch YEM. Butsianda, you spoke about the branding earlier on. I want us, and I see behind you, you have the emblem or the logo of YEM. Can somebody explain that logo of YEM? And do you guys sell merchandise, or does anybody just create their own merchandise as and when or whichever way they feel comfortable? How does it work?
I think when the creators or the people who are blessed by God and prophetic voice by God to establish this organization, naturally they went to the normal Methodist insignia, and I mean the emblem is purely round in shape. It has the MCYU emblem within it. It also has the shell of the church. I think that's very important as institutional branding. It also is very specific that we are a one mission, one church grouping. And that's very important for us. And I always say that one of the things that to a certain extent might have made the identity of the Wesley Guild to be confused by its members is because it moved from being a movement to being an organization. But unfortunately, our church is an institution. You need to be an organization in order to survive in this church, right? You can't be an organization with a working document. You need to have a constitution, you need to have guidelines, and so that's YEM unfortunately found that itself into that space where we had to have insignia and we had to have branding, and true to ourselves as a movement that is an organization. One mission, one church is our motto, and our emblem symbolizes that. And we chose purple towards the blue, royal blue, because if you follow history, purple towards the royal blue color symbolizes that we are royalty, we are high priesthoods within the family of God, and so that's where our colors come from as well. And white true to being our peaceful nature, white being to our purity, to our strive to be pure. We're not pure, but we're striving towards that, and that's where YEM is at this point. So yeah, so purely that, nothing sinister. I won't go and quote Jeremiah 36, verse mang, one heart and one ways and all of that. Purely practical, purely pragmatic. We have to have a badge. We have to have a constitution. The church is highly institutional, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
You
Yes.
asked the question around merchandise and branding and all of that. So right now, generally what we do is, with our clothing and our branding, everybody can really take whatever clothing that they have and they just get it branded for them, right? You must be comfortable. It must be easy for you. It must not be a big hoo-ha, right? So that is the one. We have a lot of branded merchandise that the different districts are selling at their own time, at their own pace, purely for fundraising purposes. Because one of the things that I think I mentioned earlier, I said, we don't have affiliation. Unlike most of the movements or organizations in the church. So we need to find creative ways of raising funds so that the mission that we always talk about can be fulfilled. So it's really around that. So branded items, we definitely have. The different districts have got their Facebook pages. We always put it up there. If anybody has got any question, they can go on YEM, NFSL, EGR or ERG, Molopo, Limpopo. We are there and we always respond to people who got questions around YEM.
Yeah. One of the things, and I know there are many people who are like me, one of the reasons why I do not like uniform is that the same thing does not necessarily look the same way on everybody.
Oh, yes, yes.
From being Muretana, I've seen the Hempeta looking some type of way on some other people. So I am so happy that with your branding, I can take my hoodie, and then just put a YEM branding. If Kumutulidi skirt, I can just take my skirt and put branding on it. If Kumutulidi vest, I can do that. I'm not restricted to either a shirt or blouse or a bow tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and I think it also
comfortable.
Yeah, and I think it also boosts somebody's confidence, knowing that I can wear whatever is mine. I can go to Mr. Price and buy something from Mr. Price and just brand it and then just wear it, the way I want to wear it. And I would look comfortable and confident wearing that. So I'm really grateful.
Absolutely, Sly. I have a lot of people that say to me, I've got a lot of YEM clothes. I'm wearing something new always. And I say to them, that's from my wardrobe. A dress from
the wardrobe.
Yes. That one I bring it and I go, come, put this thing on. I go to church on Sunday or I go wherever, I look awesome, right?
Yeah.
But it's not because I didn't have to go and spend money to buy new clothes. And that's very, very, very important.
Yeah. So now we have 9 minutes left. I have seen you guys coming together, you're doing things, you're taking pictures, so what milestones has YEM achieved thus far and what lies in your horizon?
I think let me speak for the Highveld in Eswatini. We have about 6 circuits this side and predominantly in the East Rand, so that's around the airport area if you're not familiar. And what we have made ourselves to be, is think tanks for the various circuits that we belong in. So when there is a big, huge service, you'll find YEM members helping around the projector. You'll find YEM members helping with social media and technology, right? So we have found our footing in that regard, so they know that when they need this, they go to the A teams of those particular circuits. And I think that's very important because then we've found our strategic placing within the church. And they also know that when they have gala dinners or they have fundraising or projects, YEM, we have this, people in the spacing, and we find the guest speakers, we find the right artists, we knock on the doors, we bang on the doors, and we do that. So we've strategically placed ourselves within this district as the think tanks of all organizations, right? So we become disposable to the church and not internally within YEM. And one of our milestones in this district is that we move towards Eswatini itself to launch a highly conservative area within our district. So, I mean, YAM is still a very frightening thing to some circuits within the districts. So trying to, you know, to introduce it at that level. And then, and obviously to organize ourselves. Unfortunately, and this is something I always say, unfortunately, we're institutional. The church is very institutional. We need to come together, organize ourselves in something the other organizations call conventions. We have a retreat once a year. So we're having our first retreat this year. So we're looking excitedly towards that. You know, we're going somewhere in a resort, going to chill by a poolside. We're going to have devotions, we're going to have a young program, we're going to have games, and we're going to have conversations throughout the whole weekend. So that is a milestone that we currently have within this district, and we strategically placed ourselves as the think tanks of the district.
Sure, well done to you, well done. Such amazing things happening. In the last 5 minutes, anybody else? Maybe before, let me just go through. It's just comments, no questions. Nasi Olifant says 1 church, 1 mission, Moreleta Circuit, Mamelodi Central Society. Yeah, ma. Yes, yes.
Shout out.
Dini's being greedy. We needed more time. No, you didn't need more time. This is an hour.
We need our own show.
We need our own show.
So I just received information from my producer that the Metsok was supposed to come on at 7 o'clock. So they say that their conversation has been postponed, so we can take some of their time. So Dini, your wish is my comment. I'll give a little bit more time. Lundiji says, interesting, 1 mission, 1 church. Yes, interesting, 1 mission, 1 church. So Khola, you wanted to say something regarding what YAM has done so far?
Yes, you know, I'm very proud. I'm actually a very proud member of YAM, and I'm very proud of my district, right? Because we have really been a driving force. Sienda's speaking about the thinking tank of the church. So we are really that, right? And more than anything, we have really managed to sway the way in which the church sees YAM. When we started, we had a lot of backlash from the church, from ministers, you know, but we are at a stage in my district where our district bishop is our #1 fan and #1 supporter. So therefore, everybody else after that, they don't have a reason to frown upon us. For me, that is the one thing. Number 2 is that YAM connectionally, and I'm going to say connectionally, right? Because for me, for as long as it's more than 1 district, connectionally. So the fact that we've moved in so few years from 1 district to 8, that is a lot. That is a lot, and I'm very proud of every single district in terms of really not taking their foot off the accelerator, because we're only growing more and more and more from that. You know, from my district specifically, I mean, YAM is a sponsor for the Reverend Dr. Stanley Makhubo annual lecture. Since its inception up to now, YAM is a sponsor for that. We are also a part of the executive that organizes the Stanley Makhubo Golf Day. All right, we do a lot of education, a lot of youth development initiatives within the church, which really helps a lot, and it's opening up a lot of minds to a lot of people. But also, more than anything, we've seen a lot of ex-Methodist people come back to the church. Ex-Wesley Guilders who are married come back to the church. You know, so we're really doing a lot. But I think for me, the most important thing as YAM, the biggest milestone is the fact that we see districts coming and saying, we want to do this, we want to be a part of this, and we hold our hands. For me, that is the biggest milestone. The church, the young people of the church are coming back, right, from the periphery into the center. And they're saying, we're coming back, we want to work for God. And that is what YAM is about. Thank you, Sly. I can go on forever, so let me stop here.
No, I mean, you're like me, but now everybody knows I'm long-winded, you know. So, so on this platform, you are forgiven. MCSA Highveld and Eswatini is not. I don't know who this is. I think the person forgot to change to their own personal profile. This person is saying, I challenge progressive conversation between YAM and the Young Men's Guild at district level. We need each other. I don't know what that is about, but I have a feeling you guys have an idea what that is about. So maybe that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
But
know,
I think
maybe.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
I think look,
if you guys need a mediator,
yes.
I'm here. I can mediate that conversation.
I don't necessarily think a mediation. There's currently something very interesting happening within my district with the YMG. It's a generational conversation where there are certain people saying, we are young and we are men, you are old, what are you still doing here? So I think then YAM can assist in how we can navigate throughout that. It's a generational conversation within that organization. A very interesting, exciting one as well. But obviously, some people would be very emotional about it. But it's something that YAM, I think, can assist in trying to navigate around.
I'm glad about that. I like difficult conversations because then this is where we create a safe space within the church, because the church used to be a safe space, and you need to make the church a safe space again, to be able to discuss uncomfortable and difficult conversations while we're still loving each other. Joma Vuso Are, you have my support. Funimali, bra Joe. Funimali.
Joe, fully gate.
So, Vamsanda, there was a question that says people who join YAM are people who can no longer hold positions, or who don't hold positions in organizations, like in the Wesley Guild or Kubarwetaning or Kumatodaning. How true is that? Or what do you say to that? What happened to your sound? We can't hear you.
Maybe he's load
He's not
shed.
on mute.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that that issue of saying go Pradatakalani, I will tell you about the NFSA. No, Pratakalani, Sister Dineo, Prada Trinity, what. But we go Wesley Guild because there was no space for them. Now they went to open a new movement in order for them to be in leadership. For me, that is not the case. I'm at the age whereby I don't need position to make changes in the church. I don't need to be known as a treasurer, to be known as a chairperson or convener in order for me to influence my thinking and influence the church to go to the right direction. Yes, there is that perception of saying that those who left Wesley Guild because they did not have a space. No, I'll make an example. With me, the synod, one youth unit, MCYU youth synod, they took 2 hours. Me being there, they wanted me to be a coordinator. There was a battle with my name. I allowed them to engage, but at the end of the day, said, no, I was the coordinator before. I'm giving the new people to continue doing what they think that bring the new ideas in the MCYU. So it is not about positions. We are ready to nominate or elect anyone. There's nothing about it. But me, as being Takalani, knowing what I want to see in the church, I will voice my issues, and I'll be given a platform. So it is not about that, my sister, of saying that people who are coming to YAM, they want to continue to be in positions. No, that is not about that. And I want also to say to colleagues that, YAM, how it's supposed to be. We must not be seen or known of people who talk too much. We mustn't just talk. We must just talk, find ourselves in the wrong conversations. People must see our work. People must see the change that you are bringing in the church. So I will say that one of the milestones in NFSA, our first event that people they've never thought it would happen, we went to a non-Methodist member. We refurbished the house. We went and engaged one of our members in the church, Ntate Mutsi, and we are still thankful of his support from Velcom. We went there, and then we have changed the life of that family. And by so doing, it's when people now recognizing that, yeah, you are here, Mus. We're thinking that you'll be good in talking in the debates, in the synod. You'll also trying to make noise. No. It is not about making noise. Yem is not here to make noise. Yem is here to bring changes and for our church to grow in all sides. So I'm saying for me, it's not about position. Can be ordinary member, I will still lead from behind through my engagement, through my support, through my inputs in the church. So I believe YM is not about positions. Hence, we don't have a chairperson. We have a convener. The person who's convening all of us, convening all the ideas, convening all the sectors of experiences that we are having. So it must not be a question of saying, no, we are here to be seen or to be known as people who are position mongers. No, that is not the case.
Yeah, and just to support my brother there, I think it's very important. If people think that they will make an impact or they'll bring about change from positions or titles, then you are in for a rude awakening. The world is moving at such a pace that those who are behind, who are able to influence, are those who are able to bring about change. For instance, I have not formally led in the church since my days in MethSoc, for instance. But most people would think that I'm in a position or I'm in anything. But because I was able to distinguish between a title and being able to influence those who are in positions of power, I was strategically able to place myself. I always say to people, because people always say, oh, but why are you declining? Why don't you want to take positions? I always respond that God has called me to be a general member. That is my calling in the church. I am a general member. I will make sure that I'll become a delegate. That much I will become, because I have strategically placed myself to being in the floor, to influence ideas, to champion ideas, and to use those who are in power, who have titles, to implement them. You know, so I think that's very important. And YM allows for that space for us to say, look, well, unfortunately, someone has to take the minutes. Unfortunately, someone has to collect the monies and take them to the bank. Unfortunately, someone needs to call the meetings. It's an unfortunate reality of life. But when we have come together, you know, those things don't mean anything to us. Look, we're directors at work. and I think that's very important to note. We are leaders of society. That's fine. But when we get to church, those things don't mean nothing. Good, no vice, no district. Well done if you're in that position. But we have strategically placed ourselves as young adults in certain corners of the church to influence change and to use those who are sitting right in front to implement them. We will hold you to account to implement, but we will influence decision making. And I think that's very important.
That is very important. Yes, Sam.
Sorry, just to add on to what you're saying. Practically speaking, our elections are all very, very, very democratic, right? So we don't have horses. I've been a YM member since a long time. I've never heard that there's a horse that we are canvassing and we are busy. No.
Hey,
we don't do that. And I think it's also very important. The members of the district, right? They choose and they elect their members, or rather their executive, based on the work that they've done, based on their trust and their confidence in their abilities to lead in the right way. So it's very important for people to also understand that there's no funny business happening at the back.
Yeah, that all I'm hearing is service. You are here to serve, and you want to serve, and you believe that God has called you to be a servant. And I think that is exactly what the church needs at a time such as this, especially at a time where people are defined by positions and this and that.
Yeah.
So I really think you guys are on the right track. Please allow me to read a few of the comments on the chat. Begu says, milestone, Limpopo first YAM organizer is now a minister. Hey, Mudisel. Bonita Sani says, one mission, one church, we are healed to serve. I love that. I truly love that. And Begu says, in YAM, we align ourselves to the ideology that leadership is not a position, rather a function. That is the hill I am willing to die on.
Do the work. Do the work. Simple.
Sure. So on Facebook, Ntabi Masike says, thank you so much for all the information shared. I'm a proud Yema through and through, one mission. Dini, I hope, Dini, you are happy with the time that we have allocated, but you are saying, and again, YAM is not forced to meet at the church. And we are free to meet elsewhere as young adults. We meet at Nando's. We can go Emerald, go hiking, bowling at the casino and resort. We move with the times. Po Mandlakazi Gukaza says, thank you so much, Yema. Sifundile. Sifundenyani, Popo, sifundenyani. Masiape Musegi says, we are activists. Friends, thank you so much. I really feel like you guys have covered a whole lot of ground. And you really have answered, I think, the questions that many people have been wanting to know, but maybe they did not have a platform for them to ask or to, to find you guys to say, what is YAM? How does one affiliate? I can tell you now, Cape of Good Hope district is coming. We are coming on to Stisson, Bona, remote.
Yes.
That's the way to go.
and I think really it is not even about competition or anything. It's just that people must not feel bad about not belonging anywhere.
Yeah.
It's okay to not belong somewhere. It's okay not to feel like you belong to the Wesley Guild or feel like you don't belong to the Women's Manyano or YMG or Barwezana. But also feel like YAM is where you feel that you can belong. There's nothing wrong with that. We are different people with different needs, different ideas, different principles. So long as we all subscribe to the ethos of the church, for me, I think that is the foundation that we all need to be anchored on. The foundation of God being the anchor and the one and the only. Everything else in between is absolutely secondary. It's us trying to serve the church the best way we know how. And I am so proud of you, Yamas. If I was wearing a hat, I would say Kilorula like Efa.
Yes, Chancellor.
I really am proud. Two more comments before I give you guys an opportunity to close. Thank you, Wesley Guild SA, for giving us the opportunity to share this information. I think now people have some clarity on what YAM is. One mission, one church, God in it all. Thank you so much, Dini. We are only happy to afford this platform to anyone and everyone to talk about anything and everything, so long as we feel that it will be beneficial to society. And this is one such conversation. Zakela Kumalo says, oh yeah, Mawesile Amahle, where are we going to now? Makolo Amahle, sekwaliwa iqembu eliphikisayo. I need to go back to church. Let me start from the beginning. Oh yeah, Mawesile Amahle, where are we going to now? Makholwa amahle, sekwaliwa iqembu eliphikisayo ngokusemthethweni esontweni. Nkosi, ngesikhathi sethu qhubekani ke usazovela namanye sobe silona sibukele kodwa ngeke sishiye inkonzo babazali bethu. I'm tired.
Yeah, I know.
Buzakele, I tried. Kimopedi, Murobedu, Kilo Keo Singwetu Mo Kiambalela, Kiambalela, Kilo K. In other news, the Movenda wa bigwa na tombo rabiva ena sala dinara ngandi chinakao ki Motswana gape ra kya leka go bua Setswana hape ke Mosotho hobane mme wa ka ke Mosotho tsa kwana tia neng I can ook Afrikaans praat, maar dit al van jou is baie, is nie baie erg vir my tong nie. Baie dankie. So I try with languages. So when I cannot read it, I really don't mean any offense. It's just that my Xhosa bundles are a little bit depleted. Guys, I'm going to give you 5 minutes or 2 to please give your parting shots, and then we will ask one of the members who are online to pray for us afterwards.
Good. So I think just in closing from my side, you know, a big thank you to the Wesley Guild SA for this opportunity. And my parting words are simple. As people of this earth, we have a purpose, right? God has called us. We need to find what our purpose is, and we need to make sure that we fulfill that purpose. So we live a purpose-driven life. The Young Adult Movement is there to make church fun, to be relevant, and to also make sure the most important thing, we work for the Lord. We work for the Lord. And we are calling anybody and everybody that feels that they are part of us to really come and be part of this happy space that we are in at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Summer. Thank you.
Very important conversation that we had this evening. And I hope it has also assisted. And I know there's conflicts. I won't mention in which districts. There are conflicts where there is a constant battle between the YAM and the Wesley Guild, which is unnecessary, right? The two can exist. The two have a purpose. The two have an important task ahead. You know, one is centering itself as a mission orientated, one is centering itself as an outpost for young people. And I think that's very important. If you've been fortunate and blessed enough to have traveled around the world, I was in the UK about 4 years ago, and I saw churches being converted into clubs, churches being converted into housing blocks, right? So the West is moving towards that direction. Church is irrelevant. And what YAM is trying to say is to say, look, church can be a place where there's a flow of knowledge, there's a flow of resources. Church, it can be this, it can be Serutumisa on a Sunday, but it can be this from Monday to Friday. And YAM finds itself at a very opportune time to say, come, let us journey together, let us build this church, let's build our communities. And I think this conversation is a beginning of many conversations that we need to have, where people say, look, the two can exist. We attended a seminar on a random Tuesday evening, and this is what we got from that, and this is YAM, this is not YAM, and you know, and I hope these conversations continue, and I think it's very important. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Budram. Thank you so much. You are muted, Vamsanda.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you very much, my sister. And indeed, thank you very much to Wesley Guild SA for allowing us to use their platform to share the information and to engage with the fellow Methodists and people beyond the Methodist Church of Southern Africa. We are very thankful for that. And we are hoping that our members who happen to be the Methodists will come closer to us, will be part of us, will share this big intended program with us, and in making sure that in their societies, in their circuits, in their regions and districts, and the entire connection, that we transform our church. And fortunate that as young people, we are even one of the youngest presiding bishop elect, Reverend Pumla. I think it's a call upon us, young adults, to come closer to presiding bishop, helping her with the skills that we have possessed. We need to plow back. We need all the doctors in the church, the advocates, the lawyers, the accountants, the economists, the marketers, everyone, in order to help our church to be one of the best. And lastly, what I want to say, my sister, is that we are so much happy the way young adults being received by many people who have never been part of any organization, mostly in my district. I was so impressed when I see people that I didn't even know at the Methodist, but I met them through the corners of our social life. But because of them, they are here and they felt welcome and they are giving back to the church in many ways, not only financials, but through their skills. So, and we are thankful for that. We are saying to such kind of people, please, YEM is here for you. Come and knock, you'll be welcomed. And lastly, we want to say, as Northern Free State and the Lesotho District, my sister, we are inviting, allow me to say this, we are inviting all the Yamas who have the interest to join us on the 29th until the 30th of October at Kwakwa, whereby we will be having our first ever retreat, where we will be exploring the G-Spot. So we are saying, come and explore the G-Spot with us, because we believe that G-Spot is the center of it all. And being the center of it all, we are saying, come as you are. It does not matter who you are. Come as you are, enjoy with us. We are having so many activities there. It is not only about church. You will see you're going to explore many things. We are going to the place called Kwakwa in Dinkwe. It's a tent and camp adventurous. So you can see that we are not confined in the church walls. We are going in the periphery, in the mountain, in the camping site, where we'll be exploring what God blessed us with. So we are saying, come. It's only mere 950. That is all inclusive. Activities, accommodation, and catering. So please do come and join us. Thank you very much, my sister.
You had to take advantage to market.
Right.
I get you guys spoke about branding and marketing, and you are like, you had to take that space.
Somara.
So guys, re lebogile go menagane, enkosi kakhulu, re lebanga manda, and we are praying for YEM. We are rooting for YEM because there is enough space and place on God's green earth for everyone to do work.
Amen.
And anything that is new will always receive backlash. I pray that you guys remain steadfast so long as you are grounded in God and nothing else, and you guys are extending the kingdom of God here on earth. And I'm so proud that you guys are all about quality and quality and not quantity. That is generally where you can see work being done, because no one is waiting for somebody else. You are the YEM that you have been waiting for. And for that, I say, well done, and we shall forever hold you in our prayers. May I please ask that those who are online, they can put their cameras on if they do not mind. If abakudi kamureng or wapirdi bonnet, they didn't solve. They can just put their cameras on so that we can all pronounce benediction together. Let's see. But the body bonnet.
That's all.
So yeah, thank you.
I was good inside.
Mayama lipilanyana na le beterinyana. Criteria, ugarke I want a criteria. Mo ugarle teva to one nice fella. How's it nice? It's like current. Guys, please let us all pronounce benediction together in the language of your heart. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ,
the love of God, the love of God,
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Amen. Good night and God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.